I enjoy and prosper from the unity of one love and wellness. He's a loyal lover, friend, precious mother love. I perform wellness events around the world. I perform wellness events around the globe, around the world, around the globe, around the world. Precious mother love. Love plus art equals wellness. I am going to sit here for a couple of minutes before I hit the highway. And I wanted to start off where I left off. You know, the last time I talked to you guys, I was on my way to my auntie's party. And I did make it. Oh my God. It was this beautiful, is it called Luco? Anyway, it's in DC, a very expensive seafood restaurant. So I did make it. Everybody was there. I got my pictures in, but guess what? So I took some pictures with some family members, and 4 pictures disappeared. I don't know what the hoodoo, voodoo, woodoo to do about it, but there are reasons why I think that might have happened. I don't think it was technology. I think that there's a lot of things going on um, around me, and I might be caught in some crossfires of some things. I don't know. I say a lot of things that sound like conspiracy, but when we see things in plain sight, calling a spade, that walks and quacks like a duck, you know. Anyway, so I wanted to say my poem again one more time before I get into the I emit part of this full moon, full blood moon, full lunar eclipse, full effect of Virgo in the air, because my sun sign is Virgo, and I have a couple other Virgos in my chart. So, if the full moon is in Virgo, which is means the opposite sign of my sign is Pisces, we gel well together. We complement each other very well. And that's in the person, in the live, in the real life part of it. My feelings of the effect of the combination. But I also feel the onset of this lunar eclipse. I feel like okay, so that's why I wanted to start with my poem, because my poem will tell you the mindset that I was in when I wrote this poem at 17 years old. I'm still unraveling the deep meaning of this poem. So, oh, I should have said hi to the people that have come on and joined us. One love and awareness, Ashe. So, I was in existentialism class. I was in an alternative religion class in private school in the archdiocese educational system, right? Something I chose, and they actually chose me back because they put me in all these gifted and accelerated courses, even assisted me in getting into my college. Oh my gosh, the way the hoops that were jumped through to do the things that came out to be the way it was for me in high school. I was like, anyway, so I was in existentialism class, and we learned about John Paul Sartre. There's some other names that always usually come to mind when I think of this, but I want to hurry up and get to the poem, which is called Brown Sweet Sugar Daddy. And in other words, by the end of the poem, you'll know why it's so. To me, at a sugar daddy at that age, I probably knew what a sugar daddy was, but to me, I'm describing what my ideal sugar daddy would be. And in terms of being in my existentialism class, oh, hi, Tahora, and Lima. Yes, one love and wellness. So get ready for this poem that I'm about to shoot at you guys, which is how I ended my last video. So I wrote this at 17, so I didn't know what I was talking about, but now I do. So listen here. I'm your brown, sweet sugar daddy. There's a tongue's delight. Can you taste it? Can you stand it? What am I? I'm your inner thoughts. I travel through your mind. I have no sense of direction, nor that of time. I have no dimension, except when you decide to take a trip through your mind and see what you can find. As much woman as any and too much man to be, I'm your brown sweet sugar daddy. Ageless, says Father Time, finer than the best wine. I have as much pride as a tameless lion. Aged, priceless as any treasure, weightless like a feather, pleasure beyond measure. What am I'm your inner thoughts. I travel through your mind. I have no sense of direction, nor that of time. I have no dimension except when you decide to take a trip through your mind and see what you can find. Now, that poem, there's another verse to it, but can you see what I'm saying? At 17, I wrote this poem, so now I could have recited it in I'm a brown, sweet sugar daddy, that's a tongue's delight. Can you taste it? In a way that would have been stoic and no energy, but once I put some energy in there and put some emotion into it, or energy in motion, whoo, it takes on a whole different meaning. So as I start to find the different meanings of it, the different angles of it, and recognize, I was saying, I'm it. I'm all these things. I'm anything, and if whatever I decide, just think of it. Just put your mind to it. Just put that mental energy into, intend, pay attention, pay the attention to the intended, so that the I can be it. I am it. And so, tic tac, I'm it. The full moon is in Virgo. I am a Virgo. The full moon is in my sun sign. The opposite sign from mine is Pisces right now, the time of spring. So my time is fall time, the time of, I want to say death, but then also, yeah, maybe that's why I'm a death doula. Maybe that's another reason why I'm naturally drawn to people and they're naturally drawn to me too when they're at the end of their life. But then I've also got that beginning of life, and because this is the time. This is where we are right now. What I do every month in my full moon events, we take what's no longer needed and put that in the fire, and we phoenix that into the buds of the seeds that we're planting for whatever time that the timing is for. But guess what? Whew, this is the new year time, right? The spring forward into life, coming from the buds that were dormant during the fall, during the season, from the fall into the frozen, now the thaw, into new life. So, I wanted to be able to say that, my poem, while I was in the I was daydreaming. I was in class. I was off into la la land. And while I was in class, I had been given an instruction to write. I was a poet back then. I actually was awarded, was in some sort of periodical back then, won first prize for whatever the poetry contest. My English teacher entered me. I didn't even know I was entered into the contest until I won. And then she told me about it. This was a nun, this is one of those nuns that was boosting me, same way with how I got into college. But, I'm not trying to go out into all these long stories, because I'm telling you, I got some stuff to say about the magic of my life, of how the energy of what I bring, you know, people, you wouldn't understand if I told you everything. And then if I did tell you everything, I probably had to, you know, I probably would wish I didn't ever tell you. which is this, that makes YouTube even the more hard on me sometimes, because I want to share like a mug. I want to share it. But then when certain things are said and certain words or certain because like I'm the kind of person, I'm just go deep, 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 deep. I dream about dreaming, knowing I'm dreaming about dreaming in a dream. Okay, so I'm not 2 rows deep. I'm 3 rows deep into, because I heard something. Was listening to Neville Goddard, and I was listening to one of these other things to tell you about. How, it was to explain how to go into your quantum self and make changes, but so it was, to imagine yourself thinking, and then think about your thinking, and then think about the thinking that you're thinking, to go to the ultra of control, the ultra place of extended connection to, so step back and look at the most micro of self, from a more of a allish kind of place, right? So I did doing that in my dream, excited. Take time, breathe, swallow. You're excited. I'm real. I'm telling you, this is something that comes to me sometimes in such a rush. I sometimes shake, like, and I feel the shaking in me. I feel it in my bones, kind of like that it's like coming out in some ways of, so I'm feeling like I'm on target, I'm on point, making the connection of my poem from back then to where I am now. Woo wee. I mean, like, wee. All right, so I am one of the co-founders for an organization that's called I Am It. I Am It stands for Indigenous Aboriginal Man in Trust. I'm one of the original signatories of this and co-founder of this organization. So this organization is popping back to life. We are coming outside to play. And we're doing a private ceremony for the full moon this year as a kickoff to our season of things to come. It just so happens it's in my Virgo moon, which when I say I am the energy that is it. I've been tagged. I'm it right now in that way, in of many ways. That's one way. I am it. So, but I am also recognizing, feeling the energy, sensing it turning, sensing the synchronicity of all the celestial bodies that are approaching each other and have a significant magnetism towards each other. So I feel things drawing to me, people calling me, people pulling me into their projects, people calling me and tagging me and tapping me. This is, Mercury is my planet, the quickness, the organized, so I'm bringing in the order. The spring cleaning is effect is occurring. I'm getting prompted, and even things are being just like set up in a way that things are starting to click and pop into place and start with the wheel of time. Remember I was talking about the polyorus, no, what is it? I, I was speaking about multiple layers of timing, all these things that are timed in their own time, in springtime, things periannual, annual, things are, on their own clocks. We are all synchronizing what our what our wheels are doing, and the cogs are starting to, this is me recognizing to me that's what's going on. Is, how they say, get it in where it fits in, fit it in where it gets in, or get it in where it fits in. You know what I mean? Get it in where it fit in. All of that, it's really, us being, so this multiple layer of chess is going on. These lines are being, pulled and tugged on for marionettal reasons, because we are connected to certain things that we are connected to because of the timing of our birth, or we're connected to certain things because of the blood that's, our lineage. We're connected to certain things because of, the seeds that we've planted through our lives, the things that we've gone through, the things we've done. Who we are right now is connected to so many things that started a long time ago, that have woven into the road and the path that that I am traveling. I'm talking about me. I really am. I'm talking about me, but I'm saying, as I'm learning these things about me, I'm sharing them with you because I believe the more I awaken, the more I am able to express what it is that occurs while the transition is happening. Maybe that'll be helpful for somebody else as they begin to get a little deeper, as you begin to open your eyes, as you begin to, hear with the ears and see with the eyes of the triune effect, the not the trilogy, what is it, the trifecta. There's a lot that's going on in this Virgo moon season for me. So as I was tapping in, as I learned about, as I'm starting to listen to, and pay more attention to the connections as they click and pop into place, as I'm drawing more of, connecting more of the dots, I'm sharing. So, my last event uh, for full moon was public. So this coming Friday is private. But next month in April, it will be a full moon, in person and online, public activity available for us to join in with. Singing bowls, drumming, meditation, breathing, um, you know, an interpretation from a subject matter expert of our group. As I said, I Am It as an organization. We have folks that are tapped in, tuned in, and turned on in their various lanes, and they're going to come and do their thing, as well as I am going to do the gateway meditation. Now, recently, that takes me, connect the dots, click and pop into place. So recently, I expressed to a friend of mine, he works for some alphabet boys. And there's a TV show that I saw that there was an alphabet boy that played a part, looked like him, dressed like him, talked like him, got philosophy like him. All these things that it's like they took that persona, and that person is in this show is from DC. I felt like he was a dead ringer for that persona in that show, and it's on Netflix, and it was, you know funny, and I brought it to his attention, but somehow I triggered in him some other kind of, a conversation came out of him that made me think, because this is a childhood friend, this is somebody who, I grew up knowing, and our parents introduced us at a young age, and so we held on to some threads of connectivity, and a conversation occurred that, perhaps I don't share the right things with the right people all the time. I didn't get a chance to explain. I didn't get a chance to, go into any detail. I just unplugged. I'm like, I don't know where you're going with this, but this ain't me, and I ain't trying to be connected to it. Whatever it is, and it was a deadline after that. But anyway, so yeah, there's some things that I am sharing that it may not come across in a way that is well received. Remember how people used to put people in the crazy house if they was talking about certain things, talk about walking through walls, but now we talking about ETs. Now we talking about call home. Now we talking about people are here in our homes, on this planet, if this is considered our home planet. I don't know, I might be from another planet. I feel like, there's a reason why they say I associate with Mercury. I feel like there's a reason why, I have all these, my celestial placements at the time of my birth. I feel like there's a reason why that time is applied to look at some of the influence of what would be um, um, encountered if you started here, and all these other things were happening at the same time, the reading of these things, this is these, it's like a weatherman, this, we look out for these, but then also weather can be influenced by the thinking, right? That energy in motion, those synapses, hey, I've synchronized with thunderstorms. I mean, I've synchronized with, well, let's not get into the deepness of the deep right now, but just to say, I thank you so much for joining me today. Love+Art equals wellness. Heart Happy Hour, Season 6. Precious Mother Love in the house, doing the thingy thing. I live a healthy and active lifestyle. I, oh, well, anyway. So, yeah, let's go back to the song I did want to play. Uh-oh, there's a fly. Come on, get out of here. Oh, Lord, I ain't got no food nearby. And hi to you too. Bula Bryce. Is that it? Bula Bryce, hi. And hola to your smell. Lima, hola. And Tahora. I don't know how to say your last name. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you guys will come back and see another episode. I just wanted to make sure I let you guys know. Tic Tag, it is Virgo full moon season. There's a lunar eclipse coming. That energy is definitely an influence on my activity, my environment. I'm tapped in to the effects of my communication has clarified. I am more on point, on target. I'm more tuned in. And I also thought about, I cut the hair on my ears today, trimmed my sideburns. And, I think this hair, if it's antenna, if it's just like, not just the hair on our head is an antenna, the hair on our whole body is an antenna. So there's a reason why we have a whole full eyebrow, over top of our eye. What's that? Oh, there's a whole reason. There's a reason why we have hair on our ears. There's a reason why we have all this hair on the chin. I say we, but the human, the hair on the back, the hair on the chest, all of that is for the sake of sensitivity, for receptors. Now we got all these pores on our body, right? The pores are, let's do it. My song, do it. The pores are there for a reason. That is not there for not. I mean, the skin is the largest organ, right? So we're receiving all this energy in form of data to be interpreted, and to a degree, we're taught away from interpreting that energy. We're taught away from, realizing that if you itch a certain place, which means that there's some energy that's gone to that area and for a specific reason. It's responding to something. Oh, what's going on? I got not a breach, but calls that's an alarm that's sounding off to you to say, pay attention, look at it, address it, give it some attention, give it some undivided amount of your data collection, so that you can decide what the next thing is to get rid of the itch, or to get rid of the redness or the bump or whatever arises for whatever period of time that you wait, however long it takes for it to respond to the next stage. Because if you don't respond immediately on all these alarms that go off on us all the time, I feel something itching on my face. So that means that there's something that needs to be addressed, right? So the physical is responding to all these senses. So get outside of those senses is what's said to be the quantum review area. That taking out the physical attachment to it, but get outside of. So I'm talking about getting outside of the first thought. So the first thought is, the alarm goes off. Okay, take a look. Okay, so there is a autonomic response to that, because remember, but I'm sure, when there's something in your face, or there's, something eating you, or biting you, All these things are alarms that are going off on us. And a lot of that does have an autonomic response to it, but we may not be attached to what is actually happening. Oh, that's a mosquito. But now you've smashed that bad boy. Instead of allowing that autonomic response to come, you could come along, you could train yourself to come along and pluck it. Instead of smashing it on your skin, you could allow it to exit you with a lot less of impact on the invasion that it just caused. I know. What the heck am I talking about? Well, I'm just talking off the top of my head about some things that as I am recognizing me being it, I'm just tuning into like the little birdie on the other side. This that I'm hearing. Let me see if I could turn this around so you can see. Yeah, the bird's over here talking to me. Yeah, I'm listening. Every once in a while I'm perking up and hearing. So, all right, it's time to go, fam. It's enough of my ranting, raving, and rolling back and forth. I thank everybody who did join us for Love Plus Art Equals Wellness, sixth season of Heart Happy Hour. I'm Precious Mother Love. I hope you like, subscribe, and share. I hope you come back again. And I'm glad that you were here with me. Peace, one love, and wellness. Hey, are we going to listen to anything else on the way out? Yeah, we always do. So, is it coming? International. Is it coming? Hey, hey, hey. If you know, let it flow. And out. Let's go. Hey. Hey, hey. I'm gonna do it, do it. I'm going through it, through it. If you want